Hey guys, I'm Tazeen Qudsi, licensed real estate agent in Virginia, Maryland, and DC, otherwise known as the DMV. I am the head of the Home Lab team and also the founder of gethomelab.com, which, by the way, if you visit that website right now, it's kind of under construction. So you will see something, but it's going to be a little bare bones. However, we are coming out with something really cool and it'll be launched soon. So anyhow, this is part two or part, I guess, like 1A of the last video where I introduced the fact that I'm going to be going over the Q2 real estate market report. And the last time I actually did an overview of DC, Maryland, and Virginia. If you didn't see that video, I'm going to link it here so you can see that too. And today I'm actually going to go into some of the hyper local markets as promised. I'm going to start with Northern Virginia. Say that 3 times fast. Anyways, so I'll go through Northern Virginia and show you guys a couple of specific areas that I've picked out. I'm going to screen share with the market report so you can see what I'm talking about as I go through it. I'm going to explain the numbers that you see, and then finally, towards the end of the video, I'm going to explain how that's impacting people, on a daily basis in their buying and selling decisions in those markets, because all of the markets that I discuss here, I actually actively work in. So I do sell and buy, help buyers in Virginia. I do sell houses and help buyers in DC. I do sell houses and help buyers in Maryland and in all different parts. And of course, I'm a lifelong resident of this area, so I also can really break down for you, the habits of each area when we meet one-on-one. That's something I do with investors all the time. Anyhow, so I'll get to it, and I'm going to do a little screen share, and you will still hear my voice. I think you might be able to see me still. I don't know if you're lucky. Here we go. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen with the breakdown of the Northern Virginia markets. So here we have the areas that I'm going to focus on today are going to be Alexandria, where I currently live. And I will also go into Loudoun County as a whole. So those are the 2 areas that I have picked out to highlight. And I'll go through these and give you the stats. So here we go. In Alexandria, the number of units sold, and this is broken down by type of home. And this actually matters because the buying and selling habits, or I guess the market activity habits of a condo, are going to be different than a single family. The demand and everything are, they do differ. So the single family, we'll look at that. The Q2, there was 111 units sold, which is down 22% from last year this time. So Q2 of last year to Q2 of this year, there were 22% less sales that happened in Alexandria for single family homes. However, the price point, the average price point, only went down by 4%. The average days on market has gone up by 100%. And for townhomes, it's gone down in units sold by 38%. Price has gone up by 6%. And then the days on market, average days on market has gone up by 143%. For the condos and co-ops, which usually it's condos in this, the DMV area, we see mostly condos. We don't have a lot of co-ops. So there were 366 units sold, down 21%. And look at this number right here. The average price point actually went up by 18%. The average days on market went down by 7%. So I will tell you, I'll give you some perspective here. There are townhome condos, and there are, a lot of different types of condos. However, the price point, the average price point right here is a big telltale sign of why you see these numbers, because as interest rates have gone up, affordability has gone down. So someone who was maybe able to afford a $1.2 million house, at a certain monthly payment, their affordability went significantly down due to just the interest rates doubling, or more than doubling. How if they didn't buy down their interest rate. And that's a whole other video, which I will do, and I will actually talk to you guys about ways to qualify for financing. So that's going to be a different video and super exciting. All right, so Loudoun County, and just as I'm scrolling through here, notice that all of the numbers are actually telling a really similar story. So most of the most of the units sold, number of houses sold has gone down, and yet most of the prices, the average price points, have either gone up or remained relatively what we call stable. And if the number of houses sold is down by 22%, but the price point only went down by 4%, then that means the pricing is still strong and it's still on an incline. So that's what that tells you. In Loudoun County, we have a total of 715 units sold. The average, down 29% from last year. However, the average price point only went down by 1%. And similar story to what we saw in Alexandria, Loudoun County also has a lot more in price gain for condos, and there was definitely more demand here in the condos, and the price point tells that story, right? Because it's more affordable, so there are more buyers in that price point and more competition. So that is that. Now, one of the important things to remember is that in the Northern Virginia DMV area, we actually have a really unique market because we are a transient area, meaning there are a lot of people that move in and out of this area. So that causes a lot of buying and selling activity. And then also the other part of this area is that it's growing and there's a lot of job growth. So there's actually a statistic put out by NAR, National Association of Realtors, that there are 3 jobs being created for every 1 house that's being built, 1 new house. So the new houses are not keeping up with the demand. And then the other statistic that we have about this area specifically is that about 50% of our population is either millennials or seniors. And those are the 2 populations that move the most, because seniors are usually moving to downsize or, move into a retirement home or whatever that is. And then millennials are starting out their family usually. So those are the 2, I guess, demographics that move the most. So in our area, we really have a lot of strong activity for strong buyer activity, and we have less. We actually have a lot of downward pressure on supply, which is homes for sale. So a couple of the reasons why there is a downward pressure on supply is, number one, which most people think of this, and it's because it is most commonly known that a lot of people in the past few years got interest rates at like 2.5%, 3%, and they're like, I'm not leaving, I'm not letting this go. And if you look at just an interest rate only, that can be somewhat of a motivating factor. However, I would challenge you to look at the physical numbers, because although you're paying more in interest by moving, you can actually have a manageable payment and make a move in a smart way. But again, that's another video on financing. The other downward pressure on supply is actually because there is not enough land in this area. There is a shortage of lots available for builders to build on. So that's why builder activity is slower. There is a labor problem. There's, like I mentioned before, I don't know if this is really a thing, but this is just my personal opinion, that in this area, there are so many, there's so much workforce for like IT jobs and, more white collar jobs and such. And, the manual labor jobs are actually harder to fill. And this is actually, it's not just my personal opinion. It's actually, was shared with us by an economist that I attended a talk with him last week or two ago. And then the third thing is the lumber problem, which is not just limited to lumber, but like physical, like wood. It's actually limited to still there are shortages in supply chains for components of things like garage door openers or a microchip that is needed to, install a certain part, or like, whatever it is. And like window parts are at a shortage. So there are a lot of things that are slowing down the building process. And so we don't really see that being resolved very quickly. And so all of this in a nutshell, what it means is that prices are expected to continue to go up, and all of those, again, downward pressure on supply and upward pressure on demand, those are the reasons. And we're seeing it in the numbers, and the Q3 report will be out, in a month or so. And we're going to review that together as well. But I bet you it's going to show a similar story, that prices are continuing to creep up. And, there's really no like market crash where prices are going to go down and you'll be able to buy houses at a major discount in the near future, unless, something really out of like left field happens. So anyhow, I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter. I wanted to just kind of condense it to these two areas and throw a few facts at you guys. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to me at 703-889-0349, or go to gethomelab.com and schedule a consult for free. I will schedule a Zoom with you or whatever, and it will be a more customized and tailored presentation to your specific needs, which is really how you should be looking at your situation. It's really, really individual. Have a great day. I should come up with like a jingle or something to end these videos. I will. Eventually, it will get better.